It's World Humanitarian Day today, and for those impacted by the port explosion in Beirut, aid from abroad has become essential to daily survival. The blast reduced entire neighbourhoods to rubble 2 weeks ago, but the Lebanese government has offered little support, and thousands of people are still without a roof over their heads. Leah Fayed reports.
2 weeks have passed since the massive explosion ripped through Beirut, and devastating scenes remain across the city. The blast erased entire neighborhoods, which were once full of life. Many buildings are reduced to rubble, and many homes are rendered uninhabitable, with cracked walls, broken windows, and even torn-off roofs, leaving around 300,000 Lebanese homeless. This family of 4 is refusing to leave, despite several warnings from experts that the building is unstable and might collapse. The family has been surviving here with no ceiling, although it rained in the past few days.
We have no electricity and telephone due to the damage caused by the explosion. Where do we go now? How can we leave our house? The door does not lock, and thieves have already stolen our stuff.
It is almost impossible for most residents to finance the construction of their homes, as the country is facing an unprecedented economic crisis with skyrocketing inflation. In different areas across Beirut, even the most in need feel they are abandoned by the ruling class. They say the trauma from this blast will last forever.
I keep on feeling that something bad will happen. Many people I know died. I feel very sad. I lost my eye.
We didn't see anyone from the government. Only volunteer groups offered us help.
I still have to have several operations. Everything here is costly. We're unable to get medical care nor rebuild our homes.
The deadly blast, which left thousands of people injured, couldn't have come at a worse time. The Lebanese healthcare system has already been struggling financially and suffering from a lack of supplies and medication, which are now extremely depleted following the explosion. More than half of Beirut's healthcare facilities are non-functional, according to the World Health Organization. All this happened as record numbers of coronavirus cases and deaths are being reported daily.
Need for 2 things. 1, rebuild the capacity that was destroyed. And secondly, for whatever is already functional, it needs probably a direct financial support or find creative ways and sustaining the operating budget of those institutions.
Medical aid, pop-up field hospitals, humanitarian and technical support have been dispatched by many countries around the world to the Lebanese citizens. The Lebanese government has recently resigned amid fury and mass protests that blame the leaders for their neglect as a cause of the explosion, as well as decades of mismanagement, corruption and nepotism. Protesters are also pleading for international investigations, calling for justice.
The Lebanese believe that a new generation of youth should now be running the country, a generation that can restore internal and external trust in Lebanon. Leah Fayed, Euronews, Beirut.